Alright guys, out and about a little bit here today. This is a field of soybeans. It's close to where my dad's place is. I'm not here to talk bad about the guys that farm this today. This ground is another example, kind of like what I was dealing with high erosion levels. You see the steepness of this field, how it kind of goes up, and it's very rocky on this bottom edge here, and that's soybeans, believe it or not. And they're not double cropped, I don't think. I'm pretty sure those were planted this year, but those guys there are dealing with the lack of topsoil from years of chiseling, disking, tillage basically. I think a field like this with the steepness and the erosion, I know there was a big swale here originally from the soil coming down, and then there was like a hump there. I think they had corn in it last year, and I don't think the corn did the best, and they no-tilled some rye in it for organic matter. So I don't know what to say. I think they're on the right track with trying to get some organic matter, but it's just another example of why it's kind of hard to do tillage around here. Guys do it, and you can do it in some places, but other fields are just, there's very little topsoil left. So I don't know, found it interesting. I'm not going to condemn the guys that farm it. I know what they're working with. All right, guys, welcome back. It is a very cool day today. We're in the 70s, and there's very little humidity. I only have today and tomorrow, basically 2 days, and then we go into a weather pattern of 70% chance of rain and high humidity. So my goal is to get all the hay unloaded, get the shed rearranged, and on the rainy days we can finally get some of the projects in the barn completed that I've been not having time to do. This is I already unloaded one wagon, and the other day I unloaded another one just a little while ago. This one's wagon number 3. I had a couple questions here. I have it opened up here before we get it to the elevator. You can see it opens from the back, 2 doors swing open, and the tailgate folds down. So a lot nicer than just the front unload wagons that I have. Some guys had said about a push bar. This is one that I don't use very often. You see it's bent. It's bent pretty hard. I guess the apprentice was using that one. I do have one that's straighter down in the bottom, but that's a 2-man operation using that push bar. And it just takes so much time to get the loader and everything to get it. Pushing them in it's a 2-person operation. So I do have 2 wagons that are rear unload. I had people ask me about that. So yeah, I have 2 that I can rear unload. The ones that are front unload only, this winter we're going to try to do some carpentry, get some hinges, and try to make exactly what this wagon has. I like that. The 2 doors and the tailgate. It's better than the whole rear opening on a wooden wagon. Wooden wagons are kind of flimsy and they rock from side to side, and the steel wagons are nice. You have a nice door you can open, but with the wooden ones, they're just the back end is like this all the time. So depending on how it's loaded and how it's sitting, you may not get the door open. So this is a good setup. We're going to do that on the other wagon. So that's a project. So those are some questions I had. The wagon unloading. I got a pile up there to stack. Now these have been sitting on here for quite a while. They are going to be a little bit deformed and yeah, they do get misshapen, they get squished and all kinds of stuff. What I find is that when they're stacked in pretty tight, I do try to get them pretty tight. They over time, now these here, a lot of these were sitting on the wagon for a long time. These are last year's, and they were a little bit smushed and twisted, but sitting this long in the barn here, they've kind of being in a nice stack like this, I haven't really noticed a problem. Haven't had too many people complain yet. So I do have some horse customers that are a little fussier than others. I have one guy that buys quantity, and he doesn't care what the bales look like, just so they're heavy. He doesn't care if they're bent or twisted. I had one bale that only had 1 string on it from being in the pile and pulling on it. I pulled the string off, and I was going to throw it to the side, and he said, no, I'll throw it on. So we 1 string bale, he took it. So all right, so I'm going to quit talking here. I have this one unload. And I have a whole nother one down in the shed yet, but it's nice and cool today. So I've got to get this project done because we are going to be getting some rain. All right, guys, it's a little bit late in the day here. The sun's really going to be setting here within a half hour, so there's no point in starting anything else. But I just want to show you guys something that I bought for the 986. This, you can buy these. You do see them on 86 series tractors. A lot of guys opt to do this. I decided on it just to try one. I could have ordered two, but just to try one. So, in this box, K&M, this is a step kit. It is made in the United States of America. I love how they package this. You see what this is. They used old scraps of cab foam, like you put in your cab for a cab kit. That's very interesting packaging, and I'm very hopeful that I might have finally gotten a shipment that's not damaged here. But anyway, these are, boy, and they are packaged very well. Hang on, I'll come back. All right, back with you here. Okay, these are not cheap, depending on what your opinion of expensive and cheap is. That's like $250, $260 for this step kit. This is 3 stairs, the actual staircase. See, that piece bolts on, then you put that piece on, and then finally your third step. Some of the 86 series had decent stairs, wider steps. These are the economy model. See how small they are? This one is bent and twisted, and every time I go to get up in, it's twisting on me, and under here, you can't see it. Behind this, whoever had this 986 redid this plate here. This is sheet metal that somebody bent, because up under here, this whole front of the, or back of the step that goes to the battery box is rusted off. And is it this side? One of these steps, I'll put it this way. I am just one time climbing up into this thing until that bottom step breaks. And this year with baling hay up and down, changing wagons, getting missed bales, all the up and down off of this tractor, I just had enough of these things. I'm sick of them. To be plain and simple, I'm just tired of it. The other side here, I'll show you the condition of this side. So from a distance, they look okay, and that's just because I had spritzed a little paint on them, but they are just about finished. They're just, every time I go to get up in, it's twisting and cracking, and I'm not going to take the time to re-weld these up and have it looking like crap. So I did buy a step kit here. I'm real excited about putting this on. I will do that in another video when I have more daylight. There's where it's made. It's made in America. I'm not really sure yet how it's going to go. I'm not sure. I don't know if they're universal or if there's a right or a left. I don't know what I have yet. I have to read the instructions and install it. But these are more like the steps you'd find on a Magnum. They're wider. They're solid. You can get your foot on there and not go slipping and sliding off. Over to one day when it was rainy, I went to go get up in there and slipped. These here are pretty good. So I'm tired of this one here. This is the side of the tractor that I get on the most, the left side, just out of habit. The tractor that I have put the most hours on in my entire life was a New Holland 5635 four-wheel drive with a loader. That was used on the dairy farm that I worked on for everything. I ran that tractor every day for years. And you could only get in the left side because the right side had all the joystick and loader controls, and you could hardly get through that door. So just out of habit, that was the first cab tractor I ever operated. This is the side I get on. This is the side that the door's on the Magnums. So I'm hoping that the step that I'm hoping that is for this side. So this thing's got to go. I'm done with it. I didn't want to buy a used staircase because they're like $200. So for an extra $60, you get a half decent set of steps. So I don't think the 986 is going to leave the place. So I might as well fix that now. Yeah, from here you can see how it's bent maybe. So it's just failing. It's rust and it's collapsing. Every time you get up in, all that rust keeps crunching. So one of these times I'm going to go to jump up in there and I'm going to be face planting right into the side of the cab. So had enough of it. You guys might be able to pick up on my frustration. I hate those steps. Some of the 86 series, like I say, they have a lot longer step. These are the economy ones. They're just real stubby and cheap. So we'll see how this goes. So stay tuned for that. I'll just do a video on the install eventually. So see how it goes. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.